to our bullying prevention webinar series. This last webinar will be on fostering healthy relationships, and it'll be done by our prevention consultant, Alexa Bukal. She is a graduate from Rutgers University with a bachelor's in science in public health and is proud to be a first-generation graduate. During her undergraduate studies, she fell in love with and became passionate about the significance of enhancing individuals' and communities' health and well-being. As an intern for the Edward Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy, she had the opportunity to help with research on New Jersey's wealth disparity issues and how it correlates to the state's health inequities. She gets fulfillment in seeing her work have impact and looks forward to helping underprivileged families and communities. Without further ado, Alexa.
So as Cheryl said, we are going to talk today about fostering healthy relationships. So today's agenda, we're going to first start off with an introduction of what a healthy relationship is, define the difference between a healthy versus an unhealthy relationship, talk about ways to build and maintain those healthy relationships, the benefits of it, how to manage conflicts, and also converting your unhealthy relationship to a healthy relationship. So first, we're going to define what a relationship is. I'm sure we already know, but a relationship is the way that two or more people are connected or the way they behave towards each other. Relationships could be between friends, families, colleagues, pets, and so many more. So how can we differ between a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? So healthy relationships involve honesty, trust, respect, and open communication between partners. And it takes effort from both people. That being said, there is no imbalance of power, and partners do respect each other's independence and can make their own decisions without fear of retaliation from their partner. Unhealthy relationships, on the other hand, are built on power and control. So in the beginning of relationships, there are sometimes unhealthy behaviors that might not seem like a big deal. However, insults, jealous accusations, yelling, put down, shoving, pushing, or other abusive behaviors are unhealthy and disrespectful. So some of these signs of unhealthy relationships might not show up right away in the relationship. It could take days, weeks, months, or even years. But once you do start realizing these signs, it is important to not ignore them, rather touch up on them, talk to your partner about them, or find ways to go back to being a healthy relationship. So as much as we want to be surrounded by healthy relationships aren't always easy, and you will sometimes meet conflict. So these are some tips on building and maintaining those healthy relationships. So the first thing is getting to know yourself. So you need to take time and appreciate yourself and get in touch with your emotions to be able to express yourself more clearly and more effectively. At the end of the day, self-love is the best love. Next, putting in the work. Healthy relationships are not built, but rather found. Not found, but rather built. A healthy relationship needs commitment, willingness to be accommodating to each other's needs. Next, it's also setting boundaries, which someone brought up earlier, which is also important, since setting boundaries lets people know what you appreciate, or what you want. And then doing this can also take the pressure off your relationship to commit to anything unrealistic. So setting boundaries, whether it's you setting boundaries or your partner setting boundaries, it's important to respect those boundaries on both ends. Another important thing is talking and listening. So all relationships have disagreements, and that's perfectly fine. But what's important is how you talk and listen to one another regarding the disagreement or the situation that you might be in. It's important to listen to understand rather than listening to respond. So when you're in a disagreement or having an argument, it's important to sit there and be patient with each other and listen to each other's perspective rather than jumping into what they're sharing or what they're expressing and not letting them share what they have to share. So knowing that you can only really control what you do and not what anyone else does will save you a lot of time and stress. There's a lot of people out there, including myself, where there's things where it's out of my control, even though I'd want it to be in my control, but stressing over it is not going to do us any good. Reflect and learn. So reflecting on relationships that work best in your life and seeing what qualities those relationships have, you can use it as a guideline or bring it into maybe your unhealthy relationships and use it to convert that unhealthy relationship to become a better one. So 5 A's of a healthy intimate relationship, they are: 1. Attention. So attention fosters emotional connection, enhances communication, builds trust, and ensures that both partners feel valued and understood. 2 is acceptance. Acceptance allows partners to embrace each other's differences and imperfections, fostering a sense of safety, belonging, and unconditional love. 3. Appreciation. Appreciation reinforces positive feelings, boosts self-esteem, and encourages partners to feel valued and motivated to contribute to the relationship. 4. Allowing. Allowing fosters trust and freedom, enabling partners to express themselves authentically and pursue their individual interests without fear of judgment or control. And 5. Affection. It strengthens emotional bonds, enhances intimacy, and conveys love and care. It fosters a deeper sense of connection between partners. What are the benefits of a healthy relationship? It obviously makes us happier, which we all want. It improves our feelings of security. It provides meaning to our lives, and it could also improve our mental and physical health. Managing conflict in relationships. Difficult conversations may make us feel uncomfortable, but in the long run, the importance of having that conversation is important since it will strengthen your relationship. So some sentence starters for difficult conversations could be: when you say, "It makes me feel." I think we have different views on. I'd like to hear your perspective. Can we talk about, I want to hear your feelings about this and share my feelings too. So I'm sure there's other ways to have sentence starters to make the conversation less difficult or just get your conversation going. But it's important to not only express how you feel, but also give the other person that you have a relationship with time to also share how they feel and also their perspective on what you might be sharing with them. And now, how to shift an unhealthy relationship to a healthy relationship. Yes, it is possible. So some ways of how we can do this is having an open conversation. Have that honest conversation about your feelings and concerns. You should share your perspectives and also listen actively on your partner's side. Setting boundaries. You and your partner can come to an agreement on certain boundaries that you both need to respect in order to reach both parties' wants and needs. Fostering trust and empathy. You need to work on rebuilding trust through transparency, consistency, and also reliability. You should try to understand each other's feelings and also experiences. You should show compassion and validate each other's emotions. Next is focusing on positivity. Make a conscious effort to express appreciation and affection regularly. This can also result to better managing disagreements without resorting to blame or criticism. Next is seeking support. Some couples may avoid this, however, seeking support like therapy or counseling can gain insight and tools for how a couple or a partner or how a relationship can improve their relationship dynamic. And lastly is being patient and committed. You need to understand that change does take time. So you need to stay committed to the process and also be patient with each other as you are both working through challenges. That might be the hardest part because it will take time, and sometimes it's hard to be patient, especially if it's extremely hard. But if you are willing to fight for the relationship, it is important to stay patient. So now a little quick activity. I have a few scenarios where we can all decide whether we think if it's a red light or a green light in the relationship. Your partner and you love each other, but you never have enough time for one another. You start to feel like you can't trust each other and can't communicate your feelings easily, but they are still your best friend in the end. In the end, you both choose to end the relationship but remain respectful towards each other. Do we see this as a red light or a green light? So I decided that this situation was a green light because sometimes people in relationships struggle to make time for each other and to communicate. So ultimately, you may have to choose to end the relationship with someone you love, but you can still have respect for one another. You can still have a relationship, whether it's distant friends or still close friends. So I would say that this is a green light. I'm not saying you're wrong, Jerusha, but I think that's a green light in my opinion. Another scenario. You and your partner work at the record store together, but he quits over a disagreement with the boss. Later, while you are driving, he tells you you should quit too. You need the money and you like the job. Your partner starts to get upset that you won't quit. He starts driving really fast and you are scared. This one's a little more obvious. Do we think this is a red light or a green light? This is definitely a green light. Listening, respecting someone's privacy, and also being there for them when they share something intimate are all signs of a healthy relationship. So yes, we do give this a green light. Now I want to leave it off with a quote by Oprah Winfrey that says, "Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher." Because at the end of the day, we don't need that negativity in our lives to bring us down. Rather, we want relationships that will bring us happiness and also push us to be our better versions of ourselves. I want to say thank you again for listening, and I hope that we all continue to push for healthier relationships.
Thank you, Alexa, for that wonderful and informative presentation on how to foster healthy relationships. Hopefully, you have information that you can take back to your relationships that you have and hopefully make it for the better. We appreciate all of you guys coming today. And if you want to give feedback on Alexa's presentation, please share any information that would help her make the presentation better or just to applaud the wonderful things that she's done on the presentation. Thank you for coming today and for the past Mondays. And hopefully we'll see you next month. Everyone, take care. Enjoy your week.